Hi there. Laos, formerly known as the Lao People's Democratic Republic, is probably the most underappreciated experiment in the history of actually existing socialism and Marxism-Leninism. At least personally, I haven't ever seen a lot of discussion surrounding Laos, and oftentimes when I do, it's just people asking questions such as, what do we know about Laos? What are some good sources about Laos? Or something else of the sort. Some things, such as the country's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, are relatively well known, but others have gone seemingly completely unnoticed in a lot of contemporary discussions. This video aims to add a little something to the discussion and provide at the least some cursory information about the Lao PDR. Now, due to the lack of information on Laos, I've had to cut this list off at 5 entries instead of the usual 10. There definitely stands the chance at a second video like this about Laos, as there are a handful of academic articles that I found for a bigger video about the revolution in the country that I plan on doing, but for now, we're cutting things off at 5. To be transparent, a decent bit of sources for this video are from the Lao government because it is a bit difficult to find sources on the country's proceedings. Not as difficult as, say, the DPRK can be sometimes, but difficult nonetheless. I've tried to find sources that aren't affiliated with the Lao government, but I just wanted to be upfront about my sources. Number 5. Their COVID-19 response. Since I already mentioned it, why not start with it? A part of a larger trend of socialist countries handling the COVID-19 pandemic, Laos took a proactive stance in battling the coronavirus and containing it, rather than allowing things to fall into a pit of reactionary individualism. Laos set up a designated hospital to attend to those afflicted with the disease, enacted policies such as social distancing a week before the first confirmed case was even in the country, and through their international friendship with Vietnam, received thousands of pieces of medical equipment from the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. The Lao Ministry of Health's Department of Healthcare and Rehabilitation also put together and released a manual for the general public in how to treat mild to moderate cases of COVID-19 at home. Number 4. Healthcare. Staying on the theme of public health, the Lao government has made several strides in the world of healthcare, for the sake of this video focusing on the development of vaccines and preventative and social care. In May of 2024, for example, the Lao Ministry of Health initiated a nationwide vaccination campaign against rubella and measles, highlighting the safety of the vaccine and the quality of the particular vaccines used in this campaign. The Lao PDR has also seen drops in cases for both dengue fever, and malaria in the country, in contrast to other parts of Asia such as Pakistan that saw a rise in malaria in 2024. Finally, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Security and the Ministry of Health, Pharmaceutical Factory No. 3 in Laos produced a clinical trial for a medication that would be used to help people deal with drug addiction. Number 3. Women's rights and reproductive rights. The old saying is that women hold up half the sky, and thus the enfranchisement and empowerment of women is one of the most significant steps in socialist construction. Part of enfranchising and empowering women is providing them with access to reproductive care in its various forms, whether that be facilitating a healthy pregnancy or the ability to terminate one. Though it may seem tame compared to other countries, in 2021 the Lao government legalized the use of surrogacy for couples who couldn't conceive a child on their own, and in the same vein legalized abortions within various circumstances, including if the mother has a certain medical condition or if the health of the fetus is of concern. The law similarly makes abortion services available to people with low income, people who have had 4 children already, victims of SA, and a few other circumstances. There's an excellent article written by Holly Hai and Amelie Kaczynski on the development of these policies and the historical/cultural context surrounding them. Additionally, there have been efforts made by the Lao government to address the phenomena of gender-based violence through institutions such as the Counseling and Protection Center for Women and Children in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund. Number 2. Solidarity with Palestine. Laos, like all other socialist countries and countries striving for socialism, and honestly anybody with an actually functioning heart, has condemned the genocidal atrocities carried out by the Israeli government against Palestine. The Lao PDR has recognized the settlement of Zionist forces in Palestine as an illegal occupation. in December of 2022 during a speech at the United Nations. Ambassador Anuparb Vagnorko, excuse me please if I butchered that. I think I got it right, but if I messed it up, excuse me. Anyways, he asserted the necessity of ensuring the rights of Palestine as a nation and of the Palestinian people, including the right to self-determination, the end of the occupation, and the recognition of a two-state solution in line with the numerous UN resolutions and international law. Additionally, a 2023 report from the Vientiane Times, just a few days after October 7th, basically said that the Lao Ministry of Foreign Affairs was reasserting what the ambassador said the prior year. Number 1. Poverty reduction. Following China and Vietnam, Laos has taken on several efforts in poverty reduction over the last few decades. Thanks to a combination of things such as the state having control over the country's markets and efforts for economic development, including the National Socioeconomic Development Plan, Laos has seen a significant reduction in poverty levels since the 1990s. In 1992, the poverty rate in the country was 46%. By 2008, the poverty rate was lowered by 18%, or down to 18% rather, excuse me. By 2013, that number had dropped to 17%. Several thousand students have also benefited from a free lunch program in schools in Laos, another method of addressing poverty and hunger. After years of French colonialism and the U.S.'s extreme bombing campaign during the Vietnam War, there are still problems in the country's development, but through internationalism, cooperation, and ultimately socialism, Laos has still made strides in reducing poverty. As I said earlier, I do plan on making another sort of video like this if possible, and have plans for a video exploring the actual history of the revolution in Laos, but I thought a short-list video such as this would be a good primer for those interested in the history of socialist construction in Laos. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe if you would. If you have the means to and you would like to, you can also support the channel on Buy Me a Coffee for as little as $1 a month. My name is Jimmy. Thank you for watching, and Free Palestine.